96 and like a mid-range jump, I ain't trying to miss this. Some green candles on my Christmas wish list. A lot of them up quick, then we'll sit to witness. The pump like Reebok, shout to Dennis. Catching rebounds, we found love for winners. No dip, we ripping like Rodman Pippen. Lil Bub and 88 and 8 song we hitting. Yeah, we long and sitting, pretty as can be. Paper hands, old soul, man, as for me, that's blasphemy, a catastrophe. I accumulator made it back massively. We stack sats in fat bags like massive backpacks. Relaxing, that's that, it has to be. A couple racks, flip that, in fact, smashing, grab, attack, hurt the bulls, he's back. As for me, I never left.
We up and I'm feeling like a new me. Stacking new sets, some new E.
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're taking a look at the Solana NFTs. We are in the early innings of a Solana renaissance, and what we're seeing here is the NFTs really getting bid up right now. So we've got some major breakouts to look at, and also some of the collections that have caught my eye, doing a bit of research into the history of Sol NFTs. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Check out the link down below as well, and let's jump in. So we'll start with a macro perspective here on the DeFi Llama chains by TVL. So recently, Solana's total TVL has just flipped Avalanche. So these top 8 chains boast quite large TVLs, 645 mil, Sol now up to 654. And if you believe in the Solana thesis, this thing should at least be pushing towards 3rd or 4th place here in multiples of billions. So I do think there's a big opportunity with Solana and its ecosystem overall, and it's starting to play catch up here. So that is the kind of macro outlook. The total TVL for Sol should bring it up the rankings here. Let's zoom in a little bit. So NFT trading by volume on each chain. So this is the vast history of NFT trading. Of course, nothing really happening prior to 2021. And as you can see, during the NFT bubble, we had total trade volume over 3 billion at the blow off top there, currently trading around 200 mil or so at this moment in time. Zooming into the year to date figures on this, you can see we've kind of bottomed out here. And then since we've started to see a renaissance for the crypto industry more broadly, NFT volume has started to tick up. We'll just pull this up to the last 3 months specifically here. So the blue bar at the bottom is the ETH trading volume for NFTs. The middle chunk, the red, is the Bitcoin, all those ordinals going apeshit as well. So 2 things to be aware of here. We have a new category of BRC20 and all the ordinal NFTs. That of course would be a video in itself as well, but that is a new and other sector of NFTs to really look at as well. But on top of that, we now have Solana starting to tick up. Previously, there wasn't a lot of Sol NFTs that really gathered much traction, but it's really starting now, and we're starting to see the .eth addresses come and move in on this territory. So the green bar towards the top there is the Sol NFT volume. Now, some further evidence here in the uprising of Solana-based NFTs. Their total volume has now flipped Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. So ordinals being flipped by Sol JPEGs, and Sol JPEGs making a move here on ETH. 70% uptick in USD sales volume. So this is definitely the start of something cooking here for Solana. And if we look at the biggest collections by 24-hour volume as well, Mad Lads have just pipped the BRC20 collection of PIN there, and also Sats, both putting around 1.2 to 1.6 mil. Mad Lads almost at 1.65 mil there. And if you look to number 5, that is also a Solana collection from Tensorians. So 2 of the top 5 traded collections in NFT land right now are Solana. So definitely some major signal being shown here looking at this data. So we come over to Tensor.trade. So this is the main website for trading NFTs, the best marketplace in my mind for Sol NFTs. There is of course Magic Eden as well. I'll show you that UI in just a second, but this is my favorite place. Look at that, you can chart out the NFTs very easily, and this gives you a good sense of are things bullish or bearish, etc. And if we just look at this collection here, it's Mad Lads NFT. Previous all-time high was around 100 Sol, a few ticks up to it. In the last couple of weeks, it pretty much doubled off the floor price of around 50, come up to 100, and then during this week, you can see an inflow of funds going into the premium collection here, repricing that in just this week from 89 all the way to 156 Sol per Mad Lad. So Mad Lad are the same guys as Backpack, which is also an exchange and wallet on Solana. So these are really big brain builders in the Solana ecosystem, and that is their collection. Hence, this is the real premium collection out of all of them. Total supply around 9,967, 385 listed. The orange line down here is the number of an NFT collection that is currently listed for sale. So some really cool features here on Tensor, and on the left hand side we also have the sweep functionality. If you've got a load of funds and you can ape these in size, you can come in and start sweeping up multiples. But let's move on to some history. So having noticed this uptick in volumes more broadly, I was like, we need to look for the gems, the potential gems. Of course, not financial advice, we never know if things are certain or not. But I wanted to see historically what had been kind of the earliest collections and what had caught my eye in the previous cycle, because I was aware of the Solana JPEGs back in 2021, but all my trading was on ETH JPEGs back on OpenSea. So I found this article dated the 30th of December 2021, a year of NFTs on Solana. So this one is really cool because we can see some context here. Going back to January, this is hilarious because we have that now infamous tweet, the very famous one where CoinMamba was getting really annoyed at the price of Sol, thinking it was overvalued. And then SBF in the replies saying, I'll buy as much Sol as you have right now at $3, sell me all you want, then go fuck off. So that in itself is probably a valuable NFT if that has been clipped. But we move on to this. So March, the first NFT collection on Solana. So I wanted to know what was the first collection, because previously trading on ETH in 2021, when we had the bubble for NFTs, everyone was looking for historic stuff, the real relics in the marketplaces, and anything that was really early doors on ETH mainnet, those NFT collections were getting aped and repriced hugely. So it says there's a debate to which NFT collection came first. Was it Kreechures or Solarians? And we can see from the blockchain, as the blockchain does not lie, this is the transaction for the mint of the Kreechures NFT collection, March 26th, 2021. And then Solarians, according to their roadmap here, April 2021, 7th of April 2021 to be specific. So it seems that the first ever collection on the Solana chain was the NFT project called Kreechures, Kreechures. A very odd NFT collection indeed, as I'll show you the artwork in just a bit. It's a little bit underwhelming. Then historically, this was prior to even Phantom, the main wallet, even being released. So this was very early doors. And then the first derivative coming on the market was that of punks. Not the CryptoPunks, but the Solana punks, where in essence they copied over the artwork of CryptoPunks from ETH mainnet and gave them this Solana branded coloring to the background. According to this article, it says SolPunks brought ETH's CryptoPunks to Sol. Apparently they were also the first collection to mint on the Solana blockchain. Not sure what that exactly means, as we saw the previous first collection there, but we'll move on. June, first generative art. So Fract is the project there. This one has started to be repriced as well, was around 7 Sol per Fract this morning. And so this was artwork created directly on chain. We've also got shout outs to the likes of Solana Monkey Business. These ones are very expensive, as to Degenerate Ape Academies down here. But we'll scroll down to the bottom because this is quite interesting. So what we saw back in December of 2021 was this getting a shout on the article as well. The NFT ETH Maxi crowd are also looking at Sol NFTs this states. As you can see, Farouk, who is a big time NFT collector, one of the leaders in the actual first movements of the Ethereum based JPEG mania. And this is quite funny because it ties into pretty much today here with this tweet here from Farouk. Again, he says Solana and Sol NFTs are about to have an ETH and ETH NFTs 2021 moments, and I'm not missing the boat. It's already started. So Ansem replying, they are coming. And as you'll notice, if you are eagle-eyed, Farouk's profile picture there is of a CryptoPunk, the Ethereum CryptoPunks. So how much does a CryptoPunk cost today? These relics of the blockchain, they're around 56, 57 ETH or 115k cash if you've got it. So of course that is a very expensive collection. But what are they priced on Sol? What are the Sol punks? Well, as we can see here on Tensor, the Sol punks currently trading around 6. And if you do go and sweep the floor on these ones, you can buy as many as you wish. They are coming in at a price tag of 6 per pop. They start to go up as you get 4 or more. But I think some of the people leading the charge here and the repricing of these Solana-based JPEGs are the ETH maxis themselves coming in. They see the opportunity. They want the same run again, but on Sol here. And so I think this is a lot of ETH JPEG money coming over. So should we actually be looking at these things slightly differently? So Solana here, 6 Sol price for the Sol punks. That is around $350, $360. What is that in Ethereum terms if you were to price them in ETH? Because the numbers become a whole lot lower when you see this, 0.17 of an ETH per Sol punks. So if these guys start to value them in their ETH denominated portfolios, well, all these Solana collections are very, very cheap indeed. So it would be pretty cool if you could toggle across from Sol into ETH and have some conversion on here to see how cheap these are. Because when the original punks are like 60 Ethereum and these are 0.17 Ethereum, well, my thinking is if I was a huge holder of crypto punks, I'd be happy to hedge my bets with at least a few Ethereum and scoop up a load of these things just in case they do moon. I also do think this could potentially annoy a lot of ETH maxis as well. And we like the most hated rally kind of thesis. So this is the reason why I've actually bought a few punks this morning. And if you just zoom in on the chart here, you can see it has been pretty much down only. But over the last previous few weeks here, you can see the volume is really ticking up and these are starting to reprice. And if you look at that orange line down there, the listings have gone from like 2,200 listed to today around 2,040 listed. So new people entering into this market, collecting some of these different JPEGs up. There's going to be less liquid on the markets more broadly as this continues to happen. So here is Magic Eden, the other NFT marketplace on Sol. I'm not as much of a fan of the UI on this thing. I prefer Tensor, so we will flip over to there. But that is the Kreechures collection. As I mentioned, a little bit underwhelming. The artwork is pretty bad, or pretty funny, whatever you want to see it as. But yeah, not my cup of tea in terms of artwork. But in terms of that historical context, they're almost so bad you can tell they're really old. And so this is the first collection on Sol ever created. Again, we'll flip that over to Tensor so we can actually see the chart. And isn't it just a lot more helpful to see a chart of the NFTs rather than just seeing the pictures and some numbers at the top? This thing is absolutely epic. You can see, again, pretty much down only price action, but the volume has really started to creep in here over the previous week. So people have started to get wind of this and started to bid up the collection. As you can see from this candle, all-time high around 11. There was a wick high to around 24, 25 Sol there. But if we do zoom in a little bit here, starting to see a bit of volume come in for this collection, but I don't think a lot of people have understood maybe the historical context behind this one. And when you look at the orange line down here, as it states up here, just 241 listed, and the total supply of this collection is 4,562. So a lot more illiquid than most collections, which are usually around 10,000. Again, if you price that in ETH as well, like a lot of people might be doing that kind of mental math, it's only 0.08 of an ETH per item. Now this is the official collection of Tensor, the marketplace that we're on here, and it's called Tensorians. There's 10,003 of these, and as you can see, it's broken out in a big way here for a couple of reasons. A, it's going to be a blue chip of this ecosystem. These guys were not like a big VC-backed NFT marketplace. Magic Eden was, but these guys have outperformed and built better UI for NFTs, in my opinion. So the builders being rewarded in that kind of sense, but also holding these Tensorian NFTs. If there is to be a token released for this marketplace, it seems it would be airdropped to the holders of this collection. So this is repriced from around 10 all the way up to 56 as of this morning, which is a big leap up. But if you do the maths on this, it's around 3,380 bucks, I think. But if you put that into ETH perspective, it's somewhere around 1.65 ETH per NFT. And as we saw, it's done the biggest 24-hour volume. It's flipped the Bored Apes. It's flipped the BRC20s. And if we just look at the chart here, the wick high was somewhere around 72, 73 Sol. And comparative to the big collections on Ethereum, if a similar season is to happen, we could see a continued repricing a lot higher for many of these collections. But just looking at these big boys, Tensorians, Mad Lads, I think as these push higher and higher and they have these massive breakouts, People are going to look throughout the ecosystem for the gems, which ones are the relics, which ones have some form of association with the crypto kind of lore, etc. And I think those are the kind of things like these soul punks I've already pointed out, and maybe the Kreechures as well. But of course, those are my bags, so I am a little bit biased here, but do check out some of the brief history. Lots of information in this article, 2021, a year of NFTs on Sol. It's on the Magic Eden blog, as it does seem that the .eths are coming for the JPEGs on Solana. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, smash a like on today's video, subscribe if you're new, check out the link down below for a NordVPN. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Now, a quick shill from me. We don't do this very often, but NordVPN, you're going to need a VPN, and Nord offers the most comprehensive packages here. And the one I've pulled out here is the threat protection package. So with this, you have things like anti-tracking, anti-malware, stops you from downloading malicious stuff. And I think this is very important for your trading device, maybe your laptop if you're using that for crypto related purposes. There's too many scams in the market right now. You can't always be 100% vigilant. And so you need something that is scanning stuff for you and has your back. Maybe if you're a bit tired, for example, clicking the wrong button could get your wallet drained. This is definitely a good first step for protection. And obviously having a VPN is also very important. Myself in the UK here, geo-blocked from many different DeFi sites right now, which is kind of ridiculous. So you have to have a VPN anyway. So highly likely you're going to buy a VPN at some point. Check this one out, link down below. Of course, that will help me out if you do purchase through that link. End of shill.